So I've been checking my channel and realized I've never done example solves. So this is just going to be a random average breakdown just to see my solution, see where I can improve. So the first solve was a 545, I think, and on the scramble I did yellow. I saw this kind of pattern on white and I didn't like it because it would mean a lot of moves to solve the rest, and I didn't immediately see any nice cross continuations, so I went to yellow because you have these two set on opposites in this free pair. So if you do this, L prime, D prime, kind of, you set them up on opposites and preserve this right here, and then D, R prime, B prime, R prime, D solves cross, and then you can insert this into the back left. And while you're doing that, I saw my second pair, which was blue-red, and then you pair them up and insert into the back. And that's really good because I have both my back back slots solved. So then I can go into third pair. And then last pair I could tell was going to be free. And then this OLL, which is really bad, I locked up on it a bit, goes like this. And then A perm, and I recently switched my ALG, so my execution wasn't the best, but it was like this. So the second solve was also a 545, and on this scramble both yellow and white are good. But I took a glance at yellow and a glance at white, and I saw an easier first pair continuation and saw into second pair. I solved both my first pairs on right, which isn't the best, but yeah. So these two are solved correctly, and just a D prime off, or a D move off. So I saw this flipped edge case, so just D prime, R prime, U prime, insert this edge, D2 solves cross, and I had seen first two, so I went into it a bit shaky, but you solve this pair into the back, and then you just get a free second pair, and then here I had taken this pair, and I went for this pair for third pair. You pair them up, and here I noticed if I rotate and sledged that it would solve a free pair with this corner moving to the back. So that's what I did, and then rotate again, U2, insert in the back. And then I got this OLL, which is pretty nice, and then U2, GD prim. Yeah, I probably should have done the D prime first, where when you have GD prim, you can actually do most G prims, you can actually do the D prime first before the ALG. That way you don't have an ADF after, and so you don't have to do ABF, but yeah, I chose not to do that for whatever reason, and just did the GD prim like that. So this third solve was a 554, and I looked at white, which I probably should have went for because there's this free pair, and you could probably do some sort of either M2 cross +1 or regular cross +1, depending on how much I wanted to see an inspection. But I went for yellow, and I solved first pair into front right, which again isn't good, but these two are set up on opposites, and if you do U2, R prime F, D2, you solve cross -1, and I knew that because of where this pair would be, I chose to do it that way because it would set this up where when you insert this cross edge like that, you can cancel into first pair. Then second pair, I rotated and solved it into the back. Now I have both my front slots solved, but rotate back and do this pair into the back. And here I already knew it was a multi-slot, and so this pair would just be free. And the pair was free. And then here, it's just OLL. And then GC prim. So the fourth solve was a 541, and I went for white cross because those two edges are solved. When looking for first pair, I saw that if you solve these two cross pieces one at a time instead of simultaneously, then you get a free first pair, so that's what I did. And then here's the free pair, and I did a wide U, and then U2, and then while I'm inserting, I already know what this pair is gonna be. So just go straight into it, and then rotate here, and I already know I'm gonna have to do a .ZBLS, and I already know what it's gonna be from here because this pair is free, this pair is really easy to look into. So insert this pair, cancel into this pair, and then U2, and the ZBLS goes like this. And then here it's just this OLLCP, and then H prim. So this is the last solve. This was a 536. I went for white cross here because I saw this free pair that grabbed my attention, and I looked into this. So if you hold the cube like this and do D prime, L prime, wide L, D prime, R prime, D2, or D, then that D prime, then that solves cross and preserves this first pair. And then I saw this second pair, so I just went ahead and did it. So first two are on left, so it could be easy to rotate, but I saw this pair for my third. And while I'm doing that, I know I'd kind of seen this, but I already knew what the last pair was going to be. So you take it out of the slot and insert it with a Felix insert. And then this OLL, double wide back soon, and then A prim. So this average definitely shows what my solutions are like. The last layers were pretty nice. Some of the move counts were a bit shorter, but yeah, it definitely shows on average what my solutions look like, I'd say. Except maybe not as many X crosses as normal, but you know, just a pretty, simple CFOP average that was mid-5. Yeah.